another motherfucker. I'm going to keep this as simple and as quick as I possibly can. So, I've already talked about how I believe and why I believe that the spikes in COVID were brought by the protests. And I still see people defending that that's not true, that it's not possible, this, that, the other. And when I see people say that shit, or I see people say that everybody at the protests are masked up and keeping social distance and all those things, I think it's an outright lie. Just pushing an outright lie. And you wonder why a lot of the American people aren't going to back that bullshit. Because you're lying. And they know you're lying. They can see that you're lying. People say, I got pictures and videos that show people are wearing masks. And I got pictures and videos that are proving that they aren't. And when I see people legitimately try to say that the spikes in COVID are because of everyone else except the protesters, that's highly aggravating. You're going to make it so kids can't go back to school. You're going to make it so businesses close back down. All over. All over again. It puts you at a loss for fucking words. It's a joke. And then to not even take responsibility for it. Not to be like, oh, it's not... We could have did better. Ah, bullshit. You don't say anything. You try to make it so little man's got to take the brunt of it. So the little person's got to look like a liar, got to look like an idiot. Plenty of videos of jerks going around trying to videotape people that don't have masks on. What is going on in the world where you think that somebody thinks that shit is okay? It is not. You don't have the right to go invade someone's privacy because they don't have a mask on their face, whether you don't like it or not. Because nobody in those protests gave a crap about anybody with an underlying condition. It wasn't okay to protest 3 weeks before the BLM Black Lives Matter protests. The whole world made that clear when end lockdown protests were happening, opener up protests were happening out in Michigan. Nah, the whole fucking United States didn't want to hear nothing about that. They didn't like that at all. Now, granted, that's not the whole United States, but the media would make it sound like it's the whole lot of them, right? Yeah, that's my point. You still have mainstream media pushing one narrative, and it's getting real annoying and it's getting real old. And you have some people that'll come out and say, well, yeah, they're not, obviously protesting had caused spikes here and there. There's some people that will admit that they're on the left, but not many. And I highly doubt a progressive would even admit it. A Democrat would, because, real liberals, still have some heart. Not many of y'all still have heart. And I hear so many great, talented people come out and say, you got to stand up for what you believe in, you got to fight back, you got to stand against cancel culture, you got to stand up, Whether it's Nick DiPaolo, whether it's Tim Pool, whether it's Adam Krigler and Tim Pool, whether it's Steven Crowder, Elijah Schaefer, Styx Hexenhammer, Brandon Tatum, ABL, Amazing Lucas, Sargon of Akkad, Hunter Avalon. Just so many real intelligent people on so many different things that have really good opinions on certain things. But I've heard each one of them at least one time say, you got to stand up. Not that you got to physically fight back, but you can't let people just walk all over you and waltz all over you and this, that, the other thing. You just can't have it. You can't allow it. No, I'm not saying go fight the mob. I'm not saying go on Facebook and Fight with everyone you've ever known. I'm not saying go on Twitter and start arguments. And if you do any of that stuff, you might not want to read your comments. Might not want to read your mentions. Yeah, it's going to hurt your feelings. Could make you think some other kind of way. You definitely got to have a backbone, especially in 2020. Especially if you're going to have any other belief or any other thought that doesn't fit exactly what the masses want you to think or to feel or to see. And I'm not saying everybody that was protesting is a progressive. I'm not saying everyone that was protesting was a Democrat or a Republican or conservative or Green Party. I think everybody that was out there really wants reform. Maybe in different ways. But we have to come up with something. And I don't think it's a good idea to have to come up with something when what we have to come up with is going to be shot down by certain people before it ever makes it out the gate, before it ever gets written down. But you got to take what those people say 100% true right now, or they're going to throw a hissy fit. Right now, the rules are changing, the laws are changing, and stuff's getting put on the boards. Laws aren't really going to change. That shit has to get passed. So they can come up with legislation, but is it going to pass? I don't know. I know a lot of it's not going to. So is it just them making legislation to make you happy for now? Like Joe Rogan said, when do you get justice? And then when does peace happen? He didn't say it exactly like that, but he made a good point like that. It was on him in the Brett Weinstein episode. I definitely think that if you're one of the people out there that is like the protest had nothing to do with the rises in COVID, nothing, I really think you should go get mental help. 110%. You need some mental help. Because you're stupid. There's no helping you. If that's really what you believe. It'd be different if you don't want to acknowledge it. You want to pass that blame off on somebody else. But if you openly act like, no, that's not true, you're an idiot. It's just something that really got under my skin. I just had to say my piece, you know what I'm saying? If you want to wear masks, wear a mask. You don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. You want to protest, go protest. You don't want to, don't. But whatever you're going to do it to the fullest extent. And be you with it. Make sure your backbone is a backbone and not a motherfucking ruler that's going to break if someone wants you to bend. And on that note, baby, you already know the deal. I'll put the links in the description. Hit me up with your opinion, hit me up with your idea, whatever it is. You know the deal. It's Petrov, baby, and we out.